I remember the first day I met her. I was just a little girl, and I didn't understand much about how people could be. She was tall, with a cold look in her eyes, like she didn't care about anything or anyone. That was my stepmother. I had never seen her smile, not once, and I knew right away that I wasn't going to like her. At first, she pretended to be nice, but it didn't take long before she started showing her true colors. I remember the mornings. Every morning, she would make me do all the work, sweep the floors, clean the dishes, wash the clothes, even before I could eat breakfast. If I ever made a mistake, she'd shout at me, calling me lazy and useless. But when it was time for my stepsisters to do something, she would just smile at them and tell them they were doing great. I never got that smile. She would always find something wrong with me, no matter how hard I tried. If I was tired or just wanted a little rest, she would make me feel guilty. "What are you, a queen? Get up and walk," she'd say. Her voice was harsh, like stones grinding together. But the worst was when she'd tell me things that hurt more than any slap ever could. "You're not even worth my time," she'd say, and I'd feel my heart drop. It was like I wasn't even a person to her, just someone to boss around and make feel small. I don't even remember a time when she was kind. Maybe it was before my father married her, but I can't recall any of that. It was always this way. One time, I remember, I was so tired. I had worked all day, and all I wanted was to sit by the fire and rest. But she told me to go clean the barn even though it was already spotless. My body ached. My hands were sore. But I had no choice. When I hesitated, she slapped me, her fingers like ice. I could hear my stepsisters laughing from inside the house. It felt like everyone was on her side, even though they knew what she was doing. No one stopped her. No one said a word. I started to believe her words. I thought maybe I was nothing, that I wasn't worth anything. I wasn't allowed to cry either. She'd tell me, "Cry again, and I'll give you a reason to cry." So I held it all in, day after day, pretending I was strong, pretending it didn't hurt. Then there was the time when my father left on a long trip. He was always busy, always away. The first night he was gone, my stepmother gave me a long list of things to do. When I finished, it was late, and I was exhausted. But instead of letting me sleep, she told me I had to clean the yard, even though it was dark outside. When I asked if I could rest, she grabbed my arm and pulled me out of the house, shouting at me in front of everyone. The cold night air hit my face, but the worst part was the feeling inside. It was like no one cared. I was invisible, except when she wanted me to do something. I don't know how I got through those years. I just kept my head down, did what she told me, and tried to survive. And when I looked at my stepsisters, I wondered why they never saw how bad it was. But then I remembered, they didn't have to feel it. They were never the ones who got hurt. I just wanted to be seen. To be treated like I was worth something. But in that house, it was clear, I wasn't. I was just a servant, a shadow, a burden she could kick around when she felt like it. I still carry those words with me, the ones she said. "You're nothing." It's a hard thing to forget, even when everything else fades away.